All right, today's lesson is start with heart from Crucial Conversations. Inside of this lesson, we're going to talk about, staying present and then ways to stay present throughout the conversation so that you can avoid falling into any traps.
I think it helps by creating a foundation of safety. If you're leading with your heart, people are going to feel it. And I think that's like foundational. Without safety, you can't have a real conversation.
It also sets up for future conversations, right? And going back to what Yana said about the safety part of what future conversations might be with this person, if I know that there's someone that starts with that mindset of starting with the heart.
When you start from heart, now we can at least open up the conversation and stop making these crazy assumptions and then not be able to get anywhere with the conversation. We're gonna mess up. And so I want us to understand that when we do mess up, how to get back on track. And I started with, I messed up earlier this week, and I've been reading this book. I've probably read it, 3 times now, cover to cover, and I'm still messing up every time. And I can understand that I fall into this trap too, and I can allow for space and allow for that to happen and not let this thing explode.
Is what do I want for myself, what do I want for others, and what do I want for the relationship.
Is understand what your goals are here. And once we fall out of our goals, I just need to check this full so I win. That's no longer what do I really want for myself. I'm just trying to protect my ego, right? It's no longer what I want for the other person, that's for sure. Unless what I want for the other person is to smash his face, right? And that's the other. That's not the right. That's not starting with heart. That's right. To know the goal before going in, it shifts the focus from winning. And this is what we discussed a couple classes now, right? Like to stay away from listening to win, right?
I have to let the client vent and say whatever they want to say, and keep control of the conversation by asking questions.
Wow, incredible. So you see, we're not at odds here. We don't need to use this or. We don't need to have that dichotomy of either or here. We can have both. And we can resolve this situation and have great outcomes. We don't need to decide, and that's the fool's choice. Is when we say, I choose to give great settlements, but by doing that, I'm going to give poor customer service. Absolutely not.
Is think of how tough it is for some of us to even think about how to do it properly, because it's so against the norm. And that's what this is teaching us, because all the examples that were given were good. None were bad.
Right.
They're just different.
Agree with that.
And we shouldn't be looking at, okay, this one's perfect, or this one is done for this reason or that reason. We should be looking at it as the example that it is.
This is our default behavior. We're either, we feel like something is coming upon us as a crucial conversation. We might get silent. We might go silent and stop talking and disengage, right? All right, so now we need to figure out techniques so that when we find ourselves defaulting to one of those behaviors, that we can try to stay centered. And so one of the things that we brought as a remedy is the staying centered technique. Mental techniques that you can try. Pausing practice, right? Asking, what do I really want? And I love that the 3 questions that, again, we're repeating what the 3 questions that we ask when we're in this situation, keeping the goal in mind.
To address misunderstandings by clearly articulating what you don't mean and what you do mean.
Yes, right? Like we can step in it sometimes and give the other person the wrong impression. It's okay to restate it and to back up and say, you know what? I said that wrong. I made a mistake. What I meant to say was this way.
You start with literally saying what I want and then what I don't want, and then move on to the and better than here is what I want right from the start.
Could you imagine if we were an organization that when those mistakes do happen, that we can allow for space to say, you know what? Pause. It's okay. Let's come back to this,
It seems like it all again comes down to just setting aside our egos Like when somebody messes up, like instead of right away judging them, if Kevin is acting like a jerk in one of our meetings, instead of being like, oh my God, he's being such a jerk, and he's like, if I could instead empathize and be like, I've been there, I've done that, I know what that feels like, I know why he's doing what he's doing, I'm a human too, and we put our ego aside. It's not about me trying to be better than him, because that's what we're doing when we're judging. We're automatically judging like, oh, they're acting bad, I would act better. I think if we start from the premise of no judgment, yes, we're all human, we're all going to make mistakes, and we're not going to judge each other for it. Instead, we're going to support each other through it. I think that changes everything.
Start with heart.